What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 217 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was a new thing. That was okay.
I'm just stealing things from other people. They say things, I say things. You know what I mean? I thought about doing the Doki Doki, taking that from Jared. Didn't do it though. Tainted fruit, you know what I mean?
Tainted fruit. And as always, the busiest lady in the biz, Andrea Renee. You can find her on What's Good Games. You can find her on Twitter at Andrea Renee. Thank you very much for joining us.
I cut your intro off. I feel bad about it now.
You said what's good.
Can we start over?
It's all jazz, man. It's all jazz. No, Kevin can't take that.
No. And for the first time on this show, you might know him from Final Destination or Casper or Idle Hands or as Stan in the Eminem Stan video, Devon Sawa.
Woo!
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
This is
San
fun.
Francisco.
Yeah? Talking about some video games?
Talk about some video games.
Bring your chair up. No, don't bring the mic down. Bring the chair. Here, do this thing. Grab this guy. Do this thing.
You kind of really got to get up in there.
There you go.
Get intimate with
Yeah,
it.
there we go. See, there. We had you down. We weren't paying attention. Nobody's.
There
It's
you
just
go.
a show we're doing.
Glad to be here.
So we had you on earlier today recording an
the first
episode
ever
of We Have Cool Friends. It might not be the first episode.
I think it will be.
You think so?
Have you ever known us to ever think that far and future proof and do? No, it'll be the first one.
Okay, the first ever episode of We
And
Have
also
Cool
know how
Friends.
your mind works. We didn't have the walls you wanted,
Well,
so
now
you're
I'm
not going to punch the walls. You're not going to have the walls and then no walls.
You're right,
and then
you're right.
switch
Now
it up.
I'm gonna worry that someone's gonna be better than me and be the first
Am I about to
episode.
be bumped from We Have Cool
It's like I'm
Friends?
tuning in for the first one and The Rock is there. I'm like,
God damn it.
damn it.
Oh man! So the first ever episode, it sounded like it was fantastic. You guys were recording, looked like you had a fun time. But that wasn't the reason you were here. The reason you were here is this show to talk about video games. And stuff.
How I got here.
Don't say the game's name yet.
Yeah, so I got a strange direct message from Greg on Twitter saying just this. Would you like to go to Montreal and test a video game? Yeah. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I went. There's a video game that I saw a preview for a few months before that, and I thought it looked amazing. It looked like a really interesting.
We're gonna talk all about
Yeah,
that in
Because that's
just
the
a little
thing.
bit.
Devin and I, Twitter friends. Obviously, he's on We Have Cool Friends. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's awesome about Devin is that he just loves games.
Yeah.
You talk to me about games all the time. Like, you're one of our legit friends who's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm super famous. Yeah, I'm jacked. Yeah, I kickbox, but yeah, I just like video games. You say it. I
say none of that.
He DMs me all the time. So, yeah, I'm jacked.
Dude, I'm jacked. I like video
So I'm like,
games.
great, Devin. I'm in the middle of something.
Hey, Greg, I was just in the mirror. And the lighting in this one particular spot.
Look at do I look jacked? Because I feel jacked.
Yeah, man, you're looking jacked. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Gamescast each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We get together, talk about video games, all the things that we love about them. You can get it here on YouTube or on roosterteeth.com or on podcast services. Just search for Kind of Funny Gamescast. And also, if you want to help this show grow, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to support. You can get the show ad free. You also get to watch the show early, whether it's live as we record it or a couple of days before it posts for everyone on YouTube. This episode is brought to you by Upstart and Warby Parker, but we'll talk about that later. For now, I want to let you know about our Patreon producers. They are DJ Kento, James Davis, and James Hastings, the James double duo to rule them all. But now, Devin, I want to talk to you about the game that you got to go see in Montreal. So, Kev, you ready for this?
Already muted.
Ancestors.
Yes, I would like to.
Now it's all
we're not going
good.
to violate
You're all
any
good to say
embargoes.
whatever you want.
Yeah, so it's a game about evolution, and that's what first drew me to it. I saw the preview for it, and basically you start off as an ape, and you've got to you're evolving to man, and what it takes to get there. Beautiful graphics, really fun to play.
Is
Yeah,
it
I mean,
too
wish-
cerebral? Because that was the thing, right? The story to get you here and get to see the game started at Game Awards. Because the Game Awards, of course, Patrice came out, a guy who started Assassin's Creed, or one of the people, obviously, who started Assassin's Creed, showed the trailer there.
Yeah.
And we were all like, it's like it's 100 million years ago, and you're an ape, and you're going to go through 50 or 500,000 years
Yeah.
of, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I got to spend 2 hours with it, and the very first level. I wish just by the end of that 2 hours, I was finally learning to the swing and learning that you're supposed to learn this and bring it.
Get up on the mic, man. Don't be afraid.
Sorry. So by the end of the 2 hours, I was just figuring it out, and I was starting to get addicted to it. And I wanted more hours with it. But but it's.
Were you the same ape the entire 2 hours, or did
Yes.
it quick?
Well,
okay.
you could switch apes.
Oh, really?
You could switch
Okay.
once you've if you've been bitten by too many snakes or whatever.
snakes.
That in the beginning I was falling a lot and just getting used to it. So you can go back to your little village that you build, and you can switch your apes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what does the gameplay shake out like? It's third person, obviously.
Yeah.
Is it? You're talking about building a village? Is it like?
You start off with your own little. There's a little camp built when you first wake up.
Okay.
You can expand that camp by learning. You'll. It gives you a little icon when you look out into the jungle, and there's like different things, and you learn about that thing. You go up to it and you learn that new item, whatever it is. Like
Sure.
it could be a rock where you break, and now you have two things, and one's a tool. You learn how to switch hands. You learn how to carry your baby on your back.
Sure.
All these different things are for learning to build beds, learning what water you can drink, what water you can't drink, what food could be dangerous. So yeah,
How do they show that with gameplay? Like, how do you know?
Well,
what
you go up to it
water's
and you press whatever A or B or whatever, and you can observe it, learn it, and then study it.
Can you kill the apes? Because like if you have multiple, if I drink the bad water, does one of my apes
Yes,
die?
you can die.
Oh, wow,
You
okay.
can die from drinking the wrong stuff.
And is it game
falling.
over, or do you restart that part?
I think you restart in the
Okay.
village again.
Yeah.
And you're in your little camp or whatever it is.
little ape camp?
Yeah, because it's
Late camp.
it's a cool idea, but it's such a weird idea.
I didn't get far.
Yeah.
I learned how to break the rock, and now all of a sudden, you observe it, and it looks like it could be a tool. And I learned how to switch take the branches off the stick, and now I've got just a stick that's like a point. But I never had enough time to like actually go out and now use this as I'm assuming is going to be a spear, and I'm assuming this rock is going to do something. Like I didn't get to that, but I was intrigued, and I wanted, I was ready to go on.
Did they talk about what happens after it all?
No, no.
So it's like the game's ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
Yeah.
Right now, initial release date set for 2019 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
$40.
$40. Okay, cool. So that kind of frames all of this a bit. So they let you play as the ape and these early sides of it. But so
I watched him, Patrice.
Yeah.
I watched him play a little bit. First of all, he made it look real. he's the creator of the game, so he's swinging around these things.
Yeah.
And doing all
Meanwhile, you're
this
falling
shit.
like a bag of
shit.
potatoes.
I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy. I get on there, fall, die. He was swinging around doing a lot of stuff, and he made it look. I'm sure once you eventually get to that level, it's gonna be a blast.
How do they deal with relationships, right? Because they're not talking, right?
No, one of the things I did early on in the game is I started picking bugs out of the back of one of the other apes. And
Sounds
that was,
right.
That was the first, I guess,
Classic apes.
I learned to bond. That was like
Okay.
you see an icon and you go over there and that's your first time you learn to bond. So yeah.
Interesting. Because I feel like environmental storytelling will have to be key to this, right? In terms of getting you involved.
Did you find it really engaging? Because even hearing you describe some of these things in the fast-paced world of modern video games, taking it way, way, way back on the
Yeah.
evolutionary scale to like making a stick.
Yeah.
It feels like it's setting itself up to be kind of a slow-paced game. Did
Well,
you feel that way?
that's the only thing that I worried about. And I'd have to go on to play it a little bit more, but I was only worried about now. We got games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and all this, and that's what the kids love and whatever else. Are we ready to But it really is. It's interesting if you're into that kind of thing, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the way they've pitched it, right, is a survival game that's about exploring our own ancestry history, right? And it's 10 million years ago in Africa. Explore, expand, evolve. Like
Right.
there's something there, and I think the $40 price point, like you said, frames it in a real interesting way. Where I think they are coming out and being like, this is a weird game for people who want to get weird.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely more than the like it's interesting. Like you'll do something when you finally break that rock and it's a tool and you're like, I know where this is going. Okay, I see. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of draws you in that way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I remember when the Game Awards, I think, debuted this,
Yeah.
when this was happening, and you immediately
Yeah,
tweeted.
I was like, I gotta see
If
this.
I remember correctly, you tweeted at Greg saying,
Yeah.
you need
How
to
do I
see
get a copy of this?
Yeah.
But what
and then I
was
realized
it-
it at the bar.
What was it about seeing Ancestors that made you be like, I want to see that, as opposed to something like Crash Team Racing?
I think the whole thought of evolution is something I'm into at this moment in my life. I'm fascinated with that whole thing. Where all the missing links we have and where we really started, and so
Like Neanderthal man and how we
Yeah.
got from that to
Yeah.
to this.
Aliens.
Well, what made ape come down from the tree? What made us stand upright? I mean, there's all all the different theories of it was because we were throwing, and that's why we our first stand. And
do you think this
Never
game's
thought
gonna cover that and like show that in any way?
I don't think so, but it covers the basics.
Did they talk about this from a scientific or educational standpoint?
Yeah,
or is it?
I think they're really trying to stay with facts. I think it's fact based.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is there a fail state? Like, can you get a game over? Like, if you said your ape can die, is that a game over?
I don't know if you call it a game over, but I would if I died.
Yeah.
If I go black, I would start back in the little camp.
You
So
restart
that's
then. No, totally. Yeah, it's just one of those. Since they're pitching it as a survival game, I wasn't sure if it's like, you got unlimited apes in camp, and like, let's see who.
In the stage that I was in, the only thing I had to worry about were warthogs and snakes, and apparently there's tigers and all. As you go off, and your mind starts to as you get too far, your mind starts the screen starts to get a little bit blurry because it's fear. Because you haven't explored this area yet, so you've got to go slower and explore, and
that's where you're learning, where you're coming up to stuff and watching. It reminds me a little bit of like State of Decay, where you'd have to go up into the watchtowers to look out and you see the question marks and see them, and then like, okay, now
Boom,
I know that's a house, and that's what that is.
That's exactly it.
That's really cool. It's
Mechanically, are you mobile and agile? Like, are you swinging through trees? And stuff?
Yeah. You go up the trees. You can go wherever you want and do whatever you want.
It's an open world game. It's just not a massive open world.
I don't know if it's massive, but it was pretty big in the first level that I was in. But you get to a certain point, and all of a sudden it gets all crazy because it's fear and you don't know and you haven't explored it.
Is there like a map for it, or because like when we were watching footage back there, it looked like it's pretty clean in terms.
No,
of
there's a map. There's vital signs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
It was cool. I had fun. I
Did it live up to your expectations based on what you saw the first time?
honestly, I'd need to play a little bit more.
Yeah.
In the first hour, I was like, oh God, I don't know. And then as soon as I started realizing, like I was getting some, from the makers, they were like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it started like, okay, I get it. I see how this could be cool.
I feel like that's always the rule with survival games, right? Where it's like you get in there and how does it all play together? What do I need to do? And it is about live, die, repeat, figure it out. What do you need to do?
Yeah.
Okay, make the weapon, go do the thing.
Yeah.
Breaking the rock and you seeing like, oh, I have these tools now. Like, did that seem a little too straightforward or
no?
Okay.
I had to be told what to do. I mean, you have to figure stuff like that out, and then and that's all you have. I just assume it's going to be a tool. You've broken the rock, and now you've got this new knowledge. And so somewhere I got to find something else that's going to make me want to go back to the rock, and you know what I mean. I'm assuming.
Did you get into any combat scenarios?
No, that's what I was looking for. And
you want to fight something.
Well, that's the
Fight
thing. Like my
warthogs,
games are like whenever a new Call of Duty comes out, I don't go online or whatever. I just play the campaigns. You know what I mean? It's so easy.
It's so much easier to kill the AI than people.
Well, you can't go anywhere. You just go straight and shoot. You know what I mean? This game is going to take a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have any more questions about Ancestors, Greg?
I mean, you thought graphically it looked really good. You were saying
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
even the footage we were watching him climbing the tree, I was like, all right, this looks cool. And like figuring
and
out what's
swinging
going on.
around and all that. It's and the drinking of the water and there's a lot of details.
Are you killing the snakes and warthogs and eating them?
No,
or-
you can't kill them yet.
So you're just doing like what, berries and stuff?
You up the tree you go.
Oh, okay.
If you get
gotta run from the water,
If you get bitten by a snake, it's
Okay.
up the tree you go.
Yeah.
Run.
Have someone bond and suck it out of you.
Yeah. There you go. I didn't think of that.
don't
It could be a thing.
I don't know if apes were that smart at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowadays, they can do sign language and all sorts of shit. Ride horses.
These smart apes, man.
Exactly.
They know what's up.
Exactly.
Apes aren't monkeys, right? I keep wanting to say
Yeah,
monkeys.
no,
they're different.
They're very different.
Different
They're just
species.
friends.
No
Yeah.
tails.
Are they friends? Apes and monkeys?
In Planet of the Apes, yeah.
Maybe.
No, I don't think so. Like,
They're not.
I
They're,
have a feeling that like an ape will kill a monkey and eat it.
yeah.
It's smaller. And
No,
weaker.
but apes aren't carnivores.
Some of them like can be cannibals sometimes, like chimps and stuff, to scare other chimps. It's mind games.
I
dude.
love Kevin. You know what I mean?
Apes can be carnivores, can't they? Could they? I mean,
I think they. Do
Anything
eat
can be
meat,
carnivore.
But like,
Apes?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe they.
I'm gonna look this up.
Okay, as you look it up.
She goes to Google.
I'm not saying they're carnivores. I think they're omnivores. I think they eat both.
They'll do what they
If
need
they
to
see
survive.
other people do it, they'll do it though.
Just like
monkey
you will.
see,
For a fact.
monkey do.
Jesus, yeah.
Some
The
of them
diet
can't.
of apes is similar to those of other primates. They eat fruit, nuts, seeds, leaves, and sometimes other animals.
Hey! There we go, dude.
Monkeys,
They are
monkeys,
omnivores.
monkeys
It's like-
with Kev. I'm Kevin.
It's like why as a vowel, just sometimes.
But most of their intake is herbivorous.
So you ended this 2 hours positive. You want to play
Yeah,
more of
I'm
it.
going to play it again for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, moving on from Ancestors, Kev, bring up the volume.
No, don't say the name of the game anymore.
Okay.
It's not you. If it ever mentions again that you played the game, it's the game.
Okay, the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start here, Devin. What have you been playing besides that game?
You know, I bought one of these.
Oh, this is a Nintendo Switch.
Let's
Nintendo
switch it up,
Switch?
baby. Let's go.
So, they don't make a lot of adult games for this thing.
That's fair.
Look at how justified Andrea is.
I'm with you. I'm
know.
with you.
We got Doom, right?
Yeah.
And
Don't
then-
play Doom on this. What are you doing?
You got Diablo 3, Eternal Collection.
But everything else is like Mario Kart and like bunny rabbits and
Hey, okay,
uh,
here's the thing. Don't talk shit about the rabbits. And Mario Kart's fantastic.
I'm ready for them to start making a little more adult content.
Yeah. What did you buy
I'm
with
gonna
it?
keep waiting, baby.
I don't remember. I have Doom. I have Mario Kart. I have some weird little. You're like a zombie and it's a box and you go to different level. I can't remember the name of it.
How many bucks?
I didn't
Get
play
Breath
it.
of the Wild.
Yeah, get Breath of the Wild. There you go.
Have you played Legend of Zelda?
Breath of the
I haven't
Wild?
played that yet, no.
That's good.
That's it.
That's
man.
excellent.
That's
yeah.
an adult
but
game.
is it?
Yeah,
Yes!
it really is. It really is.
Yeah, for
Zelda
sure.
is?
Yeah.
All right.
Look at hater over here.
100%.
Not
I
Call of
think
Duty.
Zelda,
He
in
doesn't want to
fairness,
play.
is a game for everybody. It's not targeted towards a mature audience. It's targeted towards everybody. But
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, that the mature market game for Switch is lacking, to say the least.
Yes. Yes. I wouldn't mind some more Battlefields or Call of Duty. Or...
That's not what this is for. That's for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox
If I got to be on a
One,
6-hour
computer
flight, I
entertainment
would love to
systems.
play. I'd like.
Did you
That's
get
fair.
Diablo?
I didn't get Diablo now.
I think you would enjoy that.
I will get it.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing on all my flights because it's such a long RPG that you can
Sure.
really spend a lot of time in.
Hmm.
And it scratches that combat itch and it feels more. Obviously, I don't think Diablo is an M-rated game, right?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I don't remember.
I thought
I
it was
thought it
T.
would
I
be.
thought it
Diablo
was T.
2 was at least.
Worth looking up, but
I'm on it.
that game is good. I'm trying to think of what else they've released third party that can be considered more like.
Wolfenstein.
Is that out? When did that come
Is
out?
it not out?
It's rated M.
It has to be out, really, right? Diablo 3 is rated M?
Yep. No, Wolfenstein's not out. Isn't
Really?
They're waiting for the DLC, right? The Youngbloods.
Yeah, I thought they pushed
like
it.
it's
I
just
thought
been
they
forever.
pushed it back.
Okay, my apologies.
I bought Street Fighter, the original on that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fair. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun to just play for 10 minutes and realize.
Mortal Kombat's
tough.
coming.
No, it's not tough. It's just like, okay,
All games
it
are
reminded
old.
me of
Yeah,
Great,
well,
now I'm back.
Mortal Kombat 11 is out in like 2 weeks
Yeah.
for Switch.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That is an adult ass game.
Yes.
Lots of blood. What?
Blood
You're shaking
doesn't,
your head.
blood doesn't equal adult. All right. You know what I mean?
It's a gratuitous
Super Mario
violence.
Odyssey is a better game than any of the bullshit we're talking about here. God damn.
I played it
You
for a
haven't
while.
even played Mortal Kombat 11 yet.
Yeah, I don't need to. I
can't say
guarantee
it's
Mario Odyssey is better than Mortal Kombat 11.
Different games.
Better.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, okay. I'm very much looking forward to Mortal Kombat 11 coming out. I was originally going to play it on the Switch. I think it's graduated to a home console experience for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
such a visual delight, right? Of watching ribs get broken and balls get ripped out.
But I don't care too much about that. It's just like I feel like NetherRealm has earned their keep when it comes to the single player experience. Right? What was once
You
for
want
me
that
like,
ownership.
oh, this is gonna be a fun playing thing. I'm like, you know what? Nah, I want to experience this the right way. Give me it on a 65-inch TV. Let's go, baby.
Are they
Let's do
doing
it.
Rage 2 on Switch?
No.
I would guess not because it's open world
Yeah.
and it's id and Avalanche, but
There's rumors of Borderlands 2 getting ported over, right? Isn't that?
2?
Yeah.
that would be good.
To Switch?
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3, I'm holding out hope for that.
Yeah.
coming
Okay. So
eventually.
last I have is a Nintendo Live February 2019 that id Software and Bethesda are still investigating if Rage 2 would be possible on Switch.
Got it. Investigating.
That could be cool. So what else have you been playing on the Switch?
Those are it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you
we
hate
we
'em
got to
all.
get you educated, man. We got to get
No,
you
I
some
know.
good experiences here because there's a
Looks
lot
like
on
it,
this
I
thing,
gave,
man.
I put it in a drawer. And it was I when it first 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It was spring 2017.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
And I just I bought a few games for it and then realized I wasn't into it and put it in a drawer. And that was
Yeah,
it. Didn't
yeah.
go back to it.
It's like me and the Vita.
All right. First off,
what's the Vita?
curse your tongue. First off,
Good. That's a solid question.
Vita is what came and made this thing possible, all right? It died for the Switch's sins.
The old PlayStation handle.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
exactly.
had that too.
Yeah,
I had that too.
Greg.
That's older though. That's
A
like
lot of people.
The Vita's older.
Yeah. It came out in what, 2011?
Sounds right.
Yeah. I'm not the date guy. I never was. I was always just like, I enjoy this, yes.
Off the Switch though, what have you been playing
off the Switch
instead of the Switch?
Like,
PlayStation, Xbox.
Just Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty. That's
you
it.
playing Blackout, the Battle Royale mode?
No, the one with the World War II one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
so you're a while back.
Yeah. Sledgehammer.
Well, no, I knew it was old when I bought it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I don't really
What do you care?
But
Yeah.
the
well,
graphics
I
on that
just-
one are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
War
also
II.
the Battlefield World War II one, I think.
Okay.
Battlefield 5.
Is that it?
Yeah,
That's
with
the last
war
one from
stories and all
last
that
fall.
stuff.
I love those games. I love the campaigns on them.
And they do a lot of updates. I just got an email about another update they're doing for
That's the
Battlefield
thing. See,
5.
I'm the type of gamer that I don't play enough that when I do go to play, I've got about an hour and a half of updates before I can actually
Sucks. I hate
play.
it. I'm with you, man.
So then I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel you.
man.
Greg.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Switch and cool games, adult games, if you will.
Oh, Katana Zero.
Katana Zero.
Barrett played it and beat it too. He's like, I think I'm right there. I have like one more
You're at
VHS
the end of
tape
it?
to do and stuff. But yeah,
is
me and Barrett have put a lot of time
Yeah,
into
bring
this
up
guy.
Katana Zero, please.
This is a samurai.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. I don't really know much about what Katana Zero is.
Perfect. Okay, so it was shown at the Nindies event at GDC and showed during the Nindies showcase at GDC. 2D side scroller deal, right? Where you're going through and you
cool.
are this ninja, right? It's like, what was it?
Like Shinobi style kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I don't want to say cyberpunk, right? But it's that neo-noir, like Neo-Tokyo kind of look to it. Beautiful. If Andy was to go make a game, he would use his color palette, obviously, and it would be those
Oh, yeah, this is
neons.
dope.
Right, yeah,
Look
exactly.
how good is this?
And this is what you're talking about too, right? You want an adult game for your Switch, right? This is, you are an assassin and you are going through with your blade to kill all sorts of different people. As you were watching right now, or if you're listening, I can explain. You're seeing basically go to black and white here as you go through. Every time you go into a new area and you start playing, if you fail, he'll go, no, that one it worked. Because the idea is that he's running through it in his head before he goes off and does it, right? And he can you time rewind powers and you can see into the future based on the drugs you're on. You see the blood, you see the stuff getting cut down. This is a basic level. As you progress, right, like it's a one hit kill for you, one hit kill for your enemies. People will shoot at you. You can slow down time and then use your samurai blade and knock the bullets back at them to kill them. You have this dodge roll that you were seeing as you go through lasers here. Boom, you get to go through stuff that way. Up here in the top left, you see the left trigger, which is the little bar. That's the amount of time you can slow down. You can. It's 2D obviously and side scrolling, but it's got a Hotline Miami feel to it, right? Of like you pick up items that you'll hold in your other. It says B on this screen for me. It's A on Switch, where I'll be able to run through and fight guys, but then throw something at another guy.
Lantern.
Exactly. They have a lot of like statue heads and stuff like that in there and stuff. Yeah. I played it the entire way out to New York. So 4.5 hours or whatever. And that got me to, I think, the penultimate level, right? We were talking before.
Right.
I have room for one more tape in there or whatever.
This is a Switch game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How long did it take you, Barrett?
I don't know. I remember I played it almost in one sitting on like Saturday when we were party sitting. And so time was like a thing of an imagination when I was playing this game. So I was really digging it.
You loved it, right?
Yeah, I loved it, and it's definitely like up there for games I've played so far this year. I love the story in it and like the way they explain like the whole like. Obviously, with these types of games, like when you die and you go back, like you have games like that with Super Meat Boy and Celeste and stuff of like, oh, you have to go back. But they actually work that into the story and what's happening to your character.
Yeah, this is, remember when they showed it during the Nindies Direct presentation, it was, hey, yeah, the gameplay's cool, but then there's this also thing where you're talking to a therapist and making word choices. So as you start playing, you get pretty quickly understand that there's more happening than you're just a regular hitman, and how does that all play into it? And then you go home and you start developing relationships with people outside of your house, which then obviously get in. So they're trying to tell a real like narrative here.
Yeah.
And like they do a really cool stuff. Again, you're rewinding time based on the drugs you're on. They do there's a really, really, really cool scene where, this is a little bit of spoilers, but it's not like the story is like that, but like for me, it was, you've seen this other guy, he eventually captures you and puts you on a chair, right? And he keeps killing you. but then you keep rewinding time to beforehand, and you start using the things he was saying, like, when he reveals that he has a date or he's late for. So then you say that before he says it, and then he's like, wait, how do you, whatever, bam, shoots you, and like you start getting more and more tidbits to piece it together before he figures out what's going on, and like you're like, this is a cool drug and it's a cool idea and it's a cool story element for why you can rewind time.
How does that work though? Like, is it choice based of like you need to remember the things that they said?
No, you'll see the dialogue options are all there, and like you can.
They're pretty easy. Like,
if you keep going, yes, you're not going to move the plot along, but you see the new option pop up, like, what about your date, or what about this guy you just mentioned, and you select that, and the guy's like, wait, what the fuck, and then it gives you more information to say the next time and the next time and the next time, to then finally get into the boss fight you need to move on.
Right. The gameplay is super fun. Like the story they're presenting here, like I could see this being a really cool like 2019 neo-noir like type of movie. Like what they're presenting. I don't want to say too much because I think it's a type of story you should kind of experience firsthand. But super into it. And this was something like I did not know anything about the game before playing it, so it was really cool to go in fresh, and because I don't really remember the Nindies event, so I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this game. Did not expect to be as into it as I was.
Did you play Messenger and Celeste?
I did not play Messenger. Celeste is a fantastic game that I love.
How do you think it compares?
I don't like to Celeste. Celeste's a hard one because that one is so personal to me and like what that story is. And I think the kind of the challenging part of Celeste is also like what makes it so great. I think there are definitely some levels in here that are laid out challenge like in a challenging way.
Yeah, but they're not crushing like Celeste.
No, they're not super crushing, so I don't think it has that appeal of being like super challenging or anything. There's definitely like a couple.
There's yes, if I can cut you off.
Yeah.
There was like one. There's a couple. What they do. Like, because again, like it's out April 18th. That's when the review embargo for Scored Embargo is posted. We're allowed to talk, but there's like a little bit we can't go past in terms of showing anything. I think from the one knock I had when we were talking about it, when you're like, oh, I loved it. I was like, oh, I really liked it, but I think I had really high expectations coming off the Indie Direct. Still love it. Still think it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It's just early on, I feel like you get everything. Like you had, like it's not like you're going like you're talking about Messenger, where Messenger kept changing, right? And I feel like a lot of the games we play, here's a new ability, 30 minutes in, 15 minutes, or hours later, that gives you something new to do. Whereas this one, you pretty much have it all down from the beginning. So where it starts getting interesting gameplay wise and challenging is, cool, here's a room of 4 different guys, and one of them's just a brawler, one of them has a one-shot gun, the other has a shotgun that you can't reflect back because it's too many pellets, and the other guy is one of the other swordsmen where you can hit his blade, that'll stun him, but you have to then get back to kill him. And it's like, now it's this game of, who am I waiting for to get close to hit with the door like Hotline Miami to then roll in to kill that guy to do this, and like
that's cool.
Yeah, you have to start like actually.
It is
very management.
It does remind me a little bit of Celeste in that sense as well. Where like Celeste, you pretty much until the end game, you pretty much have everything in your arsenal for the entire game.
Every chapter gives you a new ability.
Well, every chapter has like a different like thing in the level design that you have to go around with, but like the abilities in Celeste were really just jump and dash.
Right, and most of the levels in Celeste had only one set path to get through. You had to jump in this particular pattern, and it was about nailing the pattern and not like choosing your path, right?
But like the thing that it reminded me of was like, you get all your abilities pretty early on, and then it's up to you to kind of, when you're presented with the layout of a new level of like, okay, how do I use just the 2 things that I have to kind of figure this out and navigate throughout?
Yeah,
that's what
That's really enticing me. That sounds awesome, because probably my only real critique of Celeste is I feel that the later levels are way more fun than the early levels because you have all the abilities, and going back after to do the B-sides isn't as fun because like I want my double jump. I want my things that I'm used to having, and when you don't have them, it feels a little bit empty. So I like this idea that you just kind of have everything, and it's less about like the enhancing your abilities and more about using the room and the skills.
What's interesting about it is I feel too, for me with the 4.5 hours just playing straight, I got into a rut of, oh, this is how I do it, and I run through blah blah blah. I was trying to beat it in between shows today, so that I would just be done with it and have like, oh, I did beat it, blah blah. I didn't make it through just because it's been a busy day. And but what I noticed is jumping in. You know how you come back to a game after a while, like, wait, what the fuck, blah blah. I started playing it different in way more dodge rolling than I was before. In dodge rolling, I was like, oh, this is actually easier than it was the way I was doing it before, and it's maybe even more fun now because I am rolling through people's legs when they're shooting. I thought when I was playing before, I was very much like run into the room, freeze, and then whereas this it is like door open, roll, get behind the other guy, oh fuck, stab him, you know what I mean? Like keep
because it wasn't until like halfway through the game is when I started using a lot of the slowdown time. Like
and that was the other thing too is the game like I guess that it's an interesting as we talk about it like. You have all the stuff, but then the levels make you use it in different fashion.
Right.
And that was like, and they do a good job of like, you think you got it down a shotgun guy. Okay, you think now there's a turret. Now there's this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for people to get their hands on this and for more people to kind of beat it because I have a lot of questions about.
Save all your spoiler stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in the end where I have questions about, and I can't wait to not be one of the few people who've gone through because. It's so cool, and I need people to talk about it with.
Yeah,
so.
Really stunning visually, as we've said from the beginning. The gameplay is fun. Yeah. I think when you and I talked about it in New York, I think I was more like, yeah, it was fun, but I use all stuff and blah. And then today playing it, I was like, man, I got to get back to this. Like it
That's cool,
reawakened it.
I was a little bummed out because I was really looking forward to this game, and when we were flying to New York, I was planning on playing it the whole way as well.
Yeah.
But then I was like, Smash Brothers, gotta get it.
And
update for everyone, you can all hold your applause, but I do in fact have all 1,303.
Yeah.
I did it.
That's an impressive
finally.
feat.
Yeah, it's impressive. Was it worth it?
No.
What did it cost you?
It cost me everything, Greg. Everything. So instead I wasted my time doing that. But then afterwards I was like, oh, Greg, like, how is it? And you didn't seem super up on it.
We were coming off the plane, and I think it was just the tiredness of being on a plane for a while mixed with the fact of just like trying to juggle your ideas being cramped into a thing and playing it or whatever. I think I had such high expectations coming into it from what we saw. I was like, oh man, did it meet him? And then taking time off and coming back to it, I'm like, oh no, it did. Like this is really well done. And I really do like it. I think it is like you're talking about an adult Switch game, right? Like of like here is a game that is not like I think it's wrestling with issues in a good. You're talking about the story, and there is so much stuff with this therapist you're talking to, and how much do you want to share? And like we're talking about the dialogue choices. That's in everything. You know how in like. Games, you sit there and you wait for the dialogue to pop up, but you can hit the button to make it all pop up. If you hit the button here, it's not you skipping the dialogue for the most part. It's you choosing the option of just like fucking stop talking to me, which actually changes what they do or how they share or what they say to you.
Yeah.
So like
That's
there is
really
a thing
cool.
in there. Yeah. So it's actually it's a
I've never
game
seen that.
it's a game that's actually really enticing you to sit there and let it all pop up. It's doing something that I don't feel, and this is not obviously Celeste, but doing something I think a lot of side-scrolling platformers, whatever you want to call them, don't do that much of like. No, we have really engaging gameplay, and we're trying to tell you a very specific story. Well, everybody tries to tell you a story, but like you're engaging, and you're going to change the way people want to talk to you or interact with you if you skip this. That's cool.
Yeah.
The game's really cool.
What if you die and go back? Do you have to go through the?
Then they give you shortcuts when you do that. When you have to do dialogue again, right? That was the thing.
That's the only
there's
reason
like
I would ever fast forward through a
You've seen it before?
storyline. I've seen it already.
Yeah, this one, if
I'll watch it
memory
again.
serves, if you die and have to see a conversation again, it pops up pretty quick. No.
It might pop up quicker. I just remember replaying like the first couple of levels again, I think the second guy you have to go after, like if you go through and like choose an option really quickly and then die and then have to go and do the level all over again. If you go to that guy again and let's say I did like the fuck you, like I just want to kill you right now.
Yeah.
You don't get another
the guy
option.
at the balcony edge.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I did die in that level and come back, and then he went faster.
He did go faster, but I didn't even get a choice to say anything else to him.
Oh right, yeah, because you're locked into what you said.
Right.
Yeah, I think that plays to what he's saying.
Okay,
He just doesn't want to like.
Yeah.
Like if you've made your choice and you die and you come back to it, it's gonna throw you back to where you were rather than make you do it again. Okay,
Right.
cool. We're on the same page.
Last thing I'll say, I decided to become an adult this morning and applied for a credit card at my bank. And
Good for you.
Thank you.
Look at him growing up before our eyes, guys.
And last time I was at my bank, I was at IGN, and so I was updating information. The guy who was helping me was like, "Oh, did you really work at IGN?" I was like, "Yeah." And I'm with Kind of Funny now. I pimped out my shirt, and he was asking me like, "Oh, what are the games that like I have a Switch? Like, what should I play?" And I was like, "All right, Ape Out." And then before I left, I was like, "There's a game coming out in a week, Katana Zero." I wrote down for it.
Nice.
Wrote that down for him.
Yeah, because you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like it. I think.
What was the other one? Ape
Out.
Oh yeah,
Ape
Ape
Out.
Out's a good
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
that's a good one.
You like these monkey games? You'll like this Ape Out.
I love a good monkey game.
You'll like
Hey,
this one.
actually,
Then.
Kev, can you pull up Ape Out?
I'm on it,
Yeah,
I'm
I
on
want
it.
to show him because like Ape Out's a very special game, very unique, and it uses jazz music and kind of just like fun
you turn up the
procedurally
music for this
generated
one?
gameplay.
If you don't know Ape Out, ladies and gentlemen, play Ape Out.
Oh, that's cool.
So like as you kill them, it's making the music actually play. Like you're making the jazz cymbals pop as you kill these guys.
Audio design by Matt Bach,
Fantastic.
formerly of Harmonix. Actually, I think he's still there.
So
Oh, wow. Where has this been?
It's a Devolver game just like Katana Zero.
It just came
As
out
they
a
continue
couple
to
weeks
make
ago.
fucked up shit for you because that's what Devolver does.
and also coming this week, Cuphead.
That's for
Which
Switch.
I know
It
we've been
does
talking
for
about a lot,
Switch.
but Cuphead on Switch.
yeah.
Cuphead
Cuphead on
Switch.
Switch.
Hell yeah.
And that's another thing I can't get away from. I want to play Katana Zero, but I'm like, gotta get my scores up though. Gotta
You
go
just
back
bust
to
out Katana
Cuphead.
Zero, right? It's not that
Just
long.
do it.
Like you said, 4.5 hours, 5 hours.
I
you're
want
done.
to. It's just
Just let me be the one who beat Cuphead 3 times.
3 times.
and
Barrett has
just
to
walk
keep
away.
one-upping me.
Yeah.
Listen, Barrett asked somebody who also, Tim has done this too, I feel your pain, because he deliberately went into Amplitude and looked at all my high scores and said,
and beat them.
it's my mission to take Andrea down.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah, we
Hard.
both beat it
He
twice.
did, yeah.
Our second time on Switch, but then I also had to save on PC, so I went through my PC and beat him there. So there you go. Fuck you, Tim.
Someday,
Are you
someday
familiar
I'll get
with
my
Cuphead?
scores back up.
Which one?
The game Cuphead?
No.
Kevin,
I'm on it.
bring up some Cuphead.
This is us sell Devon Sawa
It's the
Switch
sell.
games.
Well, no, because that's the thing. So Cuphead's coming to Switch, and I really want to push it as much as possible because I want people to buy it because I want more resources being put towards this
Cuphead.
game. It's
beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's hand animated, and the idea is it's like a 30s game, like a Felix the Cat looking. That's just a song.
Actually, yeah, you picked the one that's just the soundtrack.
But it's in the style of these old animations.
Just pick that IGN
Oh, that's
video.
cool.
And
Is it
it's
for Switch
it's-
too? Oh, it's great.
It's pretty much just boss
Yeah.
fights, and it's brutally hard, super
no,
challenging,
I don't
and
want
you
it.
just do it over and over.
That's where they
again.
lost you. Oh, no.
They do have
There's a simple mode,
normal
though.
mode,
Yeah.
but it's
What is-
even the normal mode is really challenging.
Idiot mode.
Yeah, it's
That looks pretty hard.
It's super cool though, and it's super fun, and it is one of the
That's
best
cool to look at.
Really good game.
Yeah, it's really really cool to look at. If you don't want to play it, just watch YouTube videos because it's worth
And
watching.
the music is really well done.
Yeah, the whole package is just very very tight.
Hello, congratulations, by the way.
The newlywed Demetrius Newell.
Gifted Dim 63. All right. So this is what I screwed up, and now I fill this out to fix it. Is that what I do? Okay. This is Devon.
Hey, how
this
you
is
doing,
Gifted
man?
Dim.
Pleasure to meet you.
All right. So I performed the ceremony under religious domination of any, which I didn't, but now I will write in this one: American Marriage Ministry. You can keep going with the show.
I remember when I filled that sheet out, they
Wait, did you
very
get married?
specifically were like, you have
Okay.
to
Congratulations.
put it in the boxes. You
Congratulations.
can't like scribble over. They got very mad.
Does this officially make it official?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did the first time.
And then make your marriage certificate into a PDF because you're going to have to give it to a lot of people.
Exactly, especially in the military too, because I got to pass it in and get ID cards for her and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
other
thank
stuff.
you for your
Thank
service.
you, appreciate that.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Falcon Age, Andrea.
Yeah,
That's a video game
Falcon
that you've been playing.
So this is a game from Outer Loop Games. Full disclosure that my cats are in the game. So Eka had asked me, one of the developers on the game, he's like, do you want to get a photo of your pet in the game? And I was like, yes, I do. So if you can find them, they're hidden somewhere in the game. But I tried it on PSVR. Because this is a game that was built for virtual reality, but of course you can play it just on your PS4 as well. And you play this young girl who's in prison, and in her cell there's a window, and at the very beginning of the game there's a bird's nest, and there's a falcon there, and there's a little baby falcon. And the mama bird gets killed by this robot like guard. And then you have to, the little baby bird falls into your cell, and you essentially like become friends with it. You have to take care of it, and you feed it.
It's like Once Upon a Forest.
I never played that.
No, it's a movie.
Oh, movie? Okay. I
classic.
don't know what you're talking about.
It's fantastic.
And so the idea is that you have to break out of your prison cell, and that you want to take the bird with you. And there's no humans in this prison. It's just all robots, like automated guards. And I'm not far enough along in this, and it's a short game, but I'm not far enough along in the story to know kind of like what happens. But essentially, you're trying to like overthrow these robot overlords. Yes. So this is the bird. That's the girl that you play as. And you can feed your bird. You can fist bump your bird. There's a special hat that you can wear that makes it appear as the baby bird all the time. So there's a lot of different costume pieces that you can get for your bird, which is kind of fun. You can send your bird out to hunt stuff, and then it'll bring back, bring back little chunks of meat for you. You can cook treats for it. But it's a cute little story. I am not like super clear on like what the overall narrative is of the game, mostly because I'm just obsessed with how cute the bird is.
That's what made Falcon Age spring to prominence, right? Was that when Eka started putting out the gifs of the bird and the bird dancing on your arm and the fist bumping, it was the bird that stole the show, and why that was, I think people started sharing and gifting so much of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm really glad that they added a non-combat mode, because when they were showing the game at a lot of trade shows, they got feedback from parents with kids who were like, "Oh, my kid wants to play this game, but we don't want to have any combat in it." So they made this exploration mode where you can just kind of head out with your bird and you know,
Bird it up.
Do everything, where combat is optional. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wing it.
Yeah. Just wing it. Good job, Tim. Good
Yeah,
job.
exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Falcon Age, sorry I'm joining late. Had to finish this
that's okay.
marriage I screwed up or whatever.
Just marrying people over here.
How many are you going to do that
Just
to?
screw I filled out the same way I filled out everybody else's application, and they're all married, and then San Francisco wants to bust my balls on a Thursday.
Wait, do you have some sort of marriage license?
Yeah.
You do.
Just, it's on the internet. You can bloop, and there you go. You're a minister. Great, thanks. And
Wow.
apparently now I have to put in a denomination, which is not true, but whatever. I don't want to argue. I wasn't there. I would have given that city clerk a piece of my mind. I digress. Falcon Age. For disclosure, Portillo's in the game too, on the wall over there as a pet, but also that Pop Agenda, they represented it for brand management and PR stuff. I've talked about Falcon Age on the show before. It's the one where I went at DICE and played it and did it in VR and then a little bit in handheld, or not handheld, holding a controller, playing on a TV mode, and was really into it when I played it. Stick with me. We're about to go on a ride. Falcon Age dropped, right? At least codes for us dropped. And I was like, okay, great. It was when we were in New York I got mine. So coming back, Jen hadn't been home for 2 weeks or whatever. So I had played it in VR and really dug it in VR, but then had gotten the taste of playing it on a TV with the controller at the end of my demo. So I was like, I know you can play it both ways, and I already kind of know the experience in VR. I'm just going to play it on the TV so that I can actually see Jen and talk to her now that she's home, not be lost in a world like, good to see you again, babe. Just be gone and like sitting there with my move wands doing all this stuff. I played that first night in non-VR, so I played it on the TV, and I was crestfallen. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm just not having a good time. I started taking notes, right, of like my problems with it. Of just like, I was like, it's not a huge map, but it's the environment is big, right? Like you're in these, canals, I guess. So it's more like Grand Canyon-y stuff. Like you're all over there. And I remember saying in my notes here, right, of just like, I didn't feel like I was being rewarded for exploring because I was like moving around.
The pathing is very much designed for virtual reality control schemes.
Yep.
Steimer was talking about this too on our episode of What's Good, is that she's playing it on PS4 and I'm playing it in PSVR. And have you played a virtual reality game before? So the way that the controls work in order to prevent motion sickness while you're in the headset is that it's like a teleporting system. Some games do have like fluid motion, but I prefer the teleporting. So you're kind of moving forward like chunks at a time instead of just moving like you normally would in a game to prevent yourself from getting nauseous.
Right.
And because of that, it's clear that when you're not in the VR headset, they didn't quite connect or change the locomotion. And so the pathing in the regular world feels very barren.
And that was the thing of like, I was like, you go up walkways and like staircases without stairs, but walkways. And there'd be time coming down where I felt like I was perfectly straight, but I guess I was a little bit off, and you'd stop and it'd be like this awkward thing of like, oh crap, move, and then go down. And it's like, it was just little shit that took you out of the experience. And then like moving my head up and down felt not janky, but like it was like a little more rigid than it feels like to move your head in a game with sticks.
Is that the game, or is it they not mastered the virtual reality?
No, it's the opposite, where they master the VR. This is me playing the game, and what Andrea's saying of this is clearly a game that is, they can go both ways, obviously, but it was made
designed
for VR.
for virtual
and
reality.
So like it's the same thing too of like Firewatch. Remember how there was no HUD? It was like you had to bring, or no mini map. You brought up your map to look at, right? Like your piece of paper. I'm playing on the controller, and that's how they do Falcon Age 2, where you have to bring out your map. And it was this weird thing of like bringing it out, okay, then moving and be like, wait, where was I? Bringing it back up, and I'm like, I don't feel empowered. This isn't good. There's no fast travel, so like you're just running, and I was like, blah blah blah. The next day, I find, we were here actually, and I put it on and I picked up the sticks, and it was night and day of just like, oh right, this is the way to play this game. I still think like my problem when I was going to bed after playing it on TV was like, this just feels like a basic game, and I like, you know what I mean? Like obviously we know Eka, and I know how much we worked on the game, and I was like, it feels not. It's something. The head movement, the running into the walls, the fact that why isn't there fast travel? playing it in VR, it was like, okay, this is where it was meant to be. This is where the problems I'm having with it playing on a TV I'm not having here. No fast travel doesn't matter when you're teleporting with the move wand. When I'm pointing and I'm going, boo, boo, boo. Suddenly it wasn't a chore I felt to navigate the world. When my whole view is the world, obviously, and I turn my head any way I want to, holding a map in one hand and glancing at it and then walking, and if I have to, looking at it again, is way easier than it is with a controller having it in my face and I'm trying to walk around, right? Like, I commend them for having a non-VR mode in there for the people who don't have VR.
Like, that's a question I have is, do you think that it's a detriment to it that it has a mode that it sounds like isn't good compared to the core game, which is VR?
I don't think it's a detriment. That's my thing. Is you say, is it a detriment? No, because the VR game is still the VR game, and it is good. It is fun to play, right? You feel it's more interesting to run around, play, explore. Like, even using the bird, I felt was just a better experience that way. Because to Andrew's point, like, there's, you can send it up to attack. There's satchels that are like hanging from walls that are like the hidden things you send the bird up to go get and do, and you feel more into it. It's another way to experience. I think it's the lesser way.
Is there anything it does better than the VR mode?
No, probably not. Yeah.
But so then that's things like, then I feel like that is a detriment where it's like.
Well, detriment means it's taking away from the VR mode. It's not taking away from the VR mode, right?
But it's taking away from the overall product, I would imagine.
Sure, okay,
like,
sure. That's fair that people are buying the game playing it.
I see what Tim is getting at.
No,
I think that there's certainly room for improvement in the PS4 version of the game. I absolutely understand why they put it out. If anything, it's like maybe like a sales piece to get PSVR and say, do you really want to experience this game in its, in its best form? Try it in PlayStation VR, but I was hoping that it was going to be, a little bit more polished for the PS4 version, but I think it's also important to remember this is not a $60 game. It's $19.99. It's a very small indie team. So I think it's important to also like manage expectations for what you're expecting from this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that said, it needs more polish for sure. Absolutely.
If it was just like, it's a $20 game, it's a VR game. That's what it is. That's where it's best.
And that's the thing is, I don't know how much. I remember when I found out it wasn't just VR. It was like, oh, I didn't know that, and I don't know if that is a huge selling point. And to your point, I don't think it takes away from the game, the VR version of the game. But I do understand what you're saying of that people are gonna IGN gave it an 8, right? And I've seen 7s and 7.5s going around. Somebody's gonna buy it. Maybe and not think that, oh, this was reviewed as a VR game, right? And play it as the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, what do people? Why? I'm not in this experience. I'm not feeling it the same way. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But even in VR, like I mean, basic. It's a weird thing to say, right? Even in VR, it's okay. This is fun and I'm enjoying it, and it was cool. it's an easy platinum, which I of course am all about. Like I got that. You know what I mean? Had a great time. But like. Yeah, it didn't blow my hair back. I had fun in it and I enjoyed it and I liked the ride. But like my big thing, I know when we've talked about Tim in past year, like with reviews, right? And how do we handle that and what do we do? And people have been like, well, like money means so much to us in terms of how much. Of course, this game was sent to us by Papa Agenda and Falcon Age team, right? Like for me personally, my endorsement of it would be like I would wait for it to come down in price, even at $20. I think you could wait for a sale and get it that way and have that experience from it. It's a quality experience. It was fun, but yeah, it was a night for me with like a little bit of cleanup later.
A night for platinum?
Yeah, a night with cleanup. Like so, it would have been probably a night and then another 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe the next night or whatever. But it's beautiful. It's pretty. I liked it. I think it does a lot of cool things with VR in terms of pointing and going.
And like I vividly remember this moment where I sat back on my couch and just kind of tipped my head all the way back with the headset on and just like watched the bird just fly around up in the sky, and it just really reminds you that this is like what VR can do, what the future and the promise of virtual reality. So I would encourage people who do have a PSVR headset that this game is a good showpiece for that, and it's a much better game in VR than not.
Yeah, for me, and that was what I was trying to think about, because obviously these conversations about reviews and how we frame our coverage of games we've completed and want to talk about. For me, it was the thing. I think I would wait for it to come down in price. But again, it's the technical aspect of it. Of like, it's a cool VR game. I do like it. I like, we filmed when Eka came through for GDC. We did a conversation about why he and his team have made so many PlayStation VR games and talked about it that way. That's the way it'll be on the PlayStation VR show going forward. I don't think it would be on my short list of PlayStation VR titles that I would be like, you got a PlayStation VR? pick this up. Not taking anything away from it. It's, again, a good game. I'd be in the 7s if I was reviewing it, you know, this, that, or the other. But yeah, that's where I came down with it. I was like, all right, cool. That was a cool experience, but I feel like we've gotten so far past that. And that's what I need to go back and reread a lot of the reviews, because I know some people were talking about really connecting with the story and, you know, the colonizers and all this stuff. I felt like I don't feel like I missed anything, and it's like that thing of like I didn't get that. Especially, I'll be interested when you beat it, of like some of the ways they introduce some of the characters at the end and what they do. It's just like, okay, cool. Like there's a lot of interesting ideas, and again, yeah, the bird is really cool to have and send out to do stuff. I'm looking forward to. I hope they do come back to it. I hope they do more with it, whether it's a Falcon Age 2 or some kind of DLC that takes all the feedback in, because there's really something cool there. The bird is really engaging. Giving all the different outfits and stuff are as engaging, but it's also this thing where it's engaging in the way of like, oh, cool, I made you the baby bird, and then it's like, there's so many costumes and little toys for it to play with and stuff that I was just
You
like,
can put a bow tie on it.
sure, yeah, but it's like you have all these recipes to make and all these different things that I feel like in a way there's a lot of fat on it. Where there's like, okay, cool, you can make all these different treats that'll give you plus charisma or this, that, or the other. And it's like,
what do you use those for?
Exactly. I used it to get a better deal on the dragon helm I bought at the very end just to get the trophy. Like the gameplay itself was never, you need to be doing this, or here's how you're going to balance it. Like I wasn't even making treats most of the time because I didn't feel like I needed to heal the bird up beyond its halfway point and stuff. It's a cool game. It's a good game. It's somewhere in the 7s of, this is what it is, and it's something to do.
And it's an easy platinum. I want to talk about more easy platinums. But first, I want to let you know about our sponsors. Shout out to Upstart. Applying for a loan is a lot like applying for a job that you don't get to interview for. Instead, loan companies make their decisions based off of your credit score and history without getting to know the whole you. Now, thanks to Upstart.com, it's never has to be that way again. Upstart is revolutionizing the way that you borrow money by rewarding you for your job experience and education in the form of a smarter interest rate. This is great. It could have totally helped us when we were first starting off. It's kind of funny. I know there's a lot of people out there that are starting podcast companies, starting video production stuff, starting just anything when it comes to video game journalism or whatever you want to call it. And Upstart can definitely help you there. Unlike traditional credit underwriting, which could be biased against people with short credit history, Upstart goes beyond the traditional stuff when assessing your credit worthiness. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in less than 2 minutes without affecting your credit score. And the best part is once it's all approved, it happens within a day. Within 24 hours, you can be getting the money. It's fantastic. Over 100,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards, student loans, fund their wedding, or to make large purchases. See why Upstart's ranked number 1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/kindafunny to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes 2 minutes and won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/kindafunny. upstart.com/kindafunny. And thank you to Warby Parker. Thanks to Warby Parker for supporting the Kinda Funny podcast. Warby Parker makes high quality, stylish, and affordable glasses that start at only $95, including prescription lenses. Plus, lenses include anti-glare and anti-scratch coatings. Blue light filtering lenses are also now available. For every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need, and they make buying glasses online easy and risk-free with their home try-on program. The home try-on program allows you to order 5 pairs of glasses shipped directly to your door, where you can try them on in the comfort of your own home and get feedback from friends, family, colleagues, or all the best friends out there. Because guess what? I did exactly this. I need some glasses. I've been wearing the same glasses for way too long, over a decade at this point, and they went out of style. I mean, I don't even know if they were in style when I first got them, if I'm being completely honest with you. But they make this easy. They send you the box. You get to go online. You choose out the styles that you want, and you can put them on. Here it is. You get to ask around, see what's going on with your friends. Then, if you need help from them, you let them know. You can order them, send them back if you need, kick up your feet. They're going to come to you, and you're going to be looking good and being able to see well. Which frames are my favorite? Let's see. Right now, we got these 5. I need to ask you. Let's try a couple on. This is number 1. Let's put them on, see what you guys think, all right? I want to see in the comments below. Do you like these? I don't know. Option number 1. Let me know in the comments. Let's go straight to option number 3, aka the Anthony Carbonis. Putting these guys on. Ow! I pinched myself. That was my bad.
They're growing on me, Tim.
Are they?
They are.
Am I cool enough to pull this off?
No, but
Only you can let me know. I don't trust Kevin. You know what I mean? And then the final pair, I'm going number 5 for these. Let me know if this is your bet. Boom. Number 5. Vote below and let me know. I'll get back to them. We'll see what's up, and I'll keep you guys updated on my journey to find my better glasses. Try Warby Parker out for yourself and see how good you look in their frames. Go to warbyparker.com/kinda to order your own free home try-on kit with free shipping all around. That's to you and back if you don't like them. That's warbyparker.com/kinda. Be sure to type lowercase KINDA. So that's warbyparker.com/KINDA. All lowercase. And if you have an iPhone 10 like I do, be sure to download the Warby Parker app and try their new virtual try-on, allowing you to try on eyeglasses, seeing the realistic color, texture, and size of each style just using your phone. That's awesome. I cannot wait to do that when I get home. But yeah, check it out. These are all the ones I'm looking at. Let me know which ones you think I should stick with, or go to warbyparker.com and tweet at me at Tim Gettys. Let me know which ones you think that I should try on in the next round that I do. All right. Love you. Now, Greg, back to you real quick.
I just put it down as what? Shitty game for easy platinum?
I have it down. My note is Greg's shitty platinum game.
Right. So it was super weekend mode. I did the thing and bought.
Let me take a step back here. Devin, are you familiar with what platinuming a game means?
No.
So in PlayStation games, there's trophies. All right, it's achievements on Xbox.
I'm familiar.
Okay,
with that.
So you go through. Platinuming is you get all of the trophies in the game, right?
I've never done that.
Neither.
You haven't lived.
Most people haven't.
I've only gotten one, so don't
What
worry
was
about
it?
it.
What was it in?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, well deserved.
My only
that's
platinum.
That's a good one. But Greg is obsessed with this.
Yes.
Do you have lots of platinums?
I do have lots of
It's a
platinums.
problem. It's a big problem.
How many do you have? Greg?
So
I'm
much
at
so.
82 right now.
Oh, 82?
82 platinums.
Yeah. That's nothing. Mark Freeman watches the show. He's like, what, 146?
I thought somebody
We have
wrote
the
in
Platinum
and it
Prince
has like
Josh Grab out
180
there.
Josh
something.
Graff killing it too, huh?
Didn't somebody write in
Recently, yeah, they had
to you and
180.
Gary's show with like over 180?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
But I
fine.
mean, like, Mark Freeman's the
So
one
these
who's
people
like,
are crazy. But the thing is, most of the time, people that are into this are like, I'm going to do it for the games that I love.
Right.
And then there's some people that are a little more dedicated. They're like, I'll do the games I love, but I'll also do the games that are kind
you
of
love.
easy, that like I'm working on or whatever.
I'm going to get the platinum in your game.
Greg's one of the worst type of people where there are many different developers out there that make games that are so shitty and so bad, but their sole purpose is they're an easy platinum, and they prey on the dollars of people like Greg Miller. Greg, tell me about your latest shitty platinum game.
this is Super Weekend Mode, made or at least published by, because I'm looking at it's Ratalakia Games. You ever heard of these guys?
Uh-uh.
You have, because it's Super Destroy O Not, right? Another DX, that other crappy platinum one I had done. There's one other one I can't see at a glance, but like I've played their games. Jack and Jill DX. Remember that?
Can we see this
Jack
game,
and
Kevin? Is
Jill
that possible?
DX.
Right, yeah.
Was
hold
it
on.
Super Weekend?
Super Weekend Mode.
Super Weekend mode, okay.
Here's your platinum walkthrough. It takes 5 minutes.
Whoa.
So yeah, this is the game. If you're not looking at it on the screen right now, imagine like an arcade setup in terms of the vertical screen here. Hearts are falling, and then you are independently controlling 2 little ships / bumpers that you need to shoot the boss with and collect hearts with. If a heart touches the ground, or eventually it gets a little bit harder here, don't worry, Tim. You get hit by some of the skulls falling or the dust bunnies, then
not the dust
you
bunnies.
lose a life and you have to do it. But as
Trophy earned. There you go.
as Ray Navarez
just
pointed
popping,
out,
dude.
as he put out on his Twitter the other day, it took him less than 5 minutes to do this, like 4:50.
I saw you do this yesterday.
5 minutes?
And you were doing it at our desks in the back. And like, this is very hard to explain to people that don't know our setup, which is very few people, but we have these little capture devices for when we do party modes. And I saw you playing off of that, but I was so confused. I thought you were playing Tetris 99 on the Switch.
Sure.
Because I was like, what's going on?
That's a
That
really good
looks
game.
insane. And I just kept looking over at you. Did not
say
realize
little
until
Tetris?
right now you were playing this piece of shit.
Yeah, that's right. It was.
Do you feel good about yourself?
I feel great about it. And the best
Yeah?
part is I busted out the Vita last night, started charging it up because it's one of those cross-buy games. They know what they're doing.
How much was it?
$5. Actually, with
$5.
PlayStation Plus, it was $3.99.
For that game right there.
Yeah.
$3.99.
So they're just going
to
after
get your
giving you the platinum.
Hell yeah, 2 platinums
That's
for
all they're
$4.
doing. They know,
you got
man.
it. $2 a platinum, I'm in.
Wow.
And that's the
Wow
thing.
is right.
It's the thing. Obviously, I've known about Retaliate games that I can never say.
So
'cause
your
they did-
platinum's a legit platinum, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I have the Horizon one. I'm working on my Division
Greg has
one.
many legit platinums.
But
He
I
puts
don't-
the time.
I
He's
love
got
that.
the Destiny 2 platinum, and I never put that time in.
There you go,
I was like,
see?
I ain't messing with that Warlog chump. Not happening.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, but yeah, it's they just know what they're doing, and like you look at their
They know what
website,
they're
right?
doing.
Like here's all their games, and they're showing you that they're PlayStation and Vita. Like you know what I mean? It's PS4 and Vita, which means they're cross-buy. And
Which means that if you have both a
Yep.
PlayStation 4 and a Vita, you can get 2 platinums if you do it twice.
And the best news
So
is
they
too,
really know what
so,
they're doing.
And the other
They're
thing about it
milking
that
this kid.
we got to give them credit for, on top of the fact they're doing this, they're putting out games that have easy platinums, that they're putting out cross-buy games that have easy platinums. They also put them out in Europe as well. And as you know, Tim, you can put out a game that has a shared trophy list so that if I played it in any region, I would get all the trophies. They're smart enough that they do it where they've forced PlayStation to give them another trophy list. So if I wanted to, and you're goddamn right I'm going to at some point, I can go in on my Game Over Greggy UK account, buy these games, download them to my PlayStation 4, then log out, log back in as my regular Game Over Greggy account, play them again for 5 minutes, get all the trophies again. I'm looking at the possibility here, ladies and gentlemen, of 3 platinums in Super Weekend mode. Are you kidding me right now?
Wow.
What a time to be alive.
3,
You know what I mean?
not 4.
Well, no, I don't want to. Like, the Vita works differently in terms of if I'm going to bop in and do that. You know, come on, don't be crazy.
Oh, okay.
Don't be-
That would be ridiculous.
Don't be crazy, Tim.
That would be
The Vita
ridiculous.
doesn't allow multiple logins, so I'd have to hard wipe the Vita and go in, log in as Game Over Greg, you download it, and then go back. And it just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work. Unless I'm missing something, because if I'm missing something, let me know. Wait. No, Vita TV works the same way. Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm missing anything, but kindafunny.com/you're wrong, we won't look at right now.
Andrew, please tell me. Save me from this nonsense. Dangerous driving. How's that?
It's a lot of fun, Tim. So it's an homage to the early Burnout games. Did you ever play the Burnout racing games?
Yep.
So the team that used to work on that, Criterion, has moved on within EA to focus on Need for Speed and other new IPs that they're working on for Electronic Arts. And some of the key members that worked on the Burnout series left to form a very small company called Three Fields Entertainment. And they have now published Dangerous Driving. They've published a couple other games as well. Dangerous Golf. They had the Danger Zone, which is the crash mode previously from Burnout. And so this is really an homage to arcade racing games from the 80s and 90s. And I always want to lead with that because I kind of have gotten into some back and forth with some folks about the style and feel of this game. This is not designed to be like the next big thing in the Burnout franchise, right? This is not Burnout Paradise. This is primarily focusing on a single player mode. They're adding a 6-player online multiplayer mode in like a month or so, or maybe I'm getting that timing wrong. They did say post-launch. The game came out this week. It's $26.99 and it's a ton of fun. It's the road rage mode is like the takedown mode that I loved so much, where you crash in and you try to make other cars crash. When you do crash a wreck, the wreck stays persistent on the course. So if you're in the first lap and you wreck a bunch of people, you have to like dodge their wrecks in subsequent laps, which I thought was a really nice touch. They have added Spotify Premium integration. So if you have a Spotify Premium account, you can link
Brilliant.
it and then you can just listen to your music while you're racing. That's
great.
And then they've created some custom playlists to go with
That's
it.
really cool.
Which I thought was a really fun feature.
So, custom playlists using Spotify or
Correct.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That seems like a weird legal loophole.
Sort of, but not really, because by making it a Spotify Premium integration, you have to pay for access, and all of the music licenses are then run through Spotify, and that's how they were able to afford it. Because
So, are artists still, if you listen to the song in the game, then artists would be getting paid for this.
because it's technically
Spotify.
streaming through Spotify.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, because they're a really small team. 7 people made this game, and so they didn't have the funds to put in all the bells and whistles that you would get in a normal Burnout game, and including doing an original soundtrack. And so they said, how are we going to get around this? We have to make a lot of sacrifices in the feature set, because they're using this to hopefully build towards a bigger thing down the road. And so when I talked to Alex Ward about it, one of the creators of the game, he said that this was like the easiest thing for them. And I followed up with him afterwards and said, well, I don't have a Spotify Premium account. I have a Google Play Premium account. Like, are you guys going to add additional integrations? He said, we're looking at it, we're having some discussions, but right now Spotify Premium is the one integration. But we don't really see other games doing this. So
Yeah, no,
I imagine
that's-
that it'll be something that they do down the line for sure.
That's
But
very cool.
yeah, there's a bunch of different modes. There's like over 27 cars across like 4 different classes or 6 different classes. And all of the tracks are set in different national parks around the United States, which is kind of neat. And yeah, it's fun. It's a bunch of fun. If you love arcade racing from the 80s and 90s like I do, I think that you'll enjoy your time with Dangerous Driving.
What platforms is it on?
It's on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One, I believe. So let me double check, but pretty sure it's on everything.
Yeah, it's been
Not
awesome to see this start getting a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Because I remember these guys, they had reached out and it didn't work out, but they had reached out for the game showcase back, in December that they were looking into getting into it. And I was like, oh man, the game looks awesome, but I forget why it just didn't work out if they didn't have anything at the moment, but whatever. But yeah, I know Gary's super into this right now. I've seen a lot of people tweeting about it. A lot of people have just been ready for another Burnout.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see it come back.
Yeah,
In some way, shape, or form.
What makes me really excited about this is what they're going to do in the future, because I've been playing with it for several hours now, and while I'm really enjoying my time, there's clearly a lot missing. There's a lot of animations missing. The music is missing.
The Switch port's missing, sounds like.
The Switch, I mean, this would be perfect on Switch. I agree. A Switch port would be fantastic. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement, but what they have is still super fun. But I was talking to on DLC about this, and neither Jeff nor Christian really liked the game, and I kind of got into their face about it. I was like, well, this isn't like a AAA like $50 million game. Like, it's 7 people making a small indie title that, and they're building off of their experience from the past, from all of these racing games they used to do. And I hope that they sell a ton of it so that we can get like the true spiritual successor to Burnout.
Yeah, because Gary was talking about it, right? That, like, there's no native multiplayer, but they're talking about maybe one day hopefully being able to patch that in or do something with it.
No, they are. They've committed to it. Yeah, so they're working on a 6-person online multiplayer for racing and for road rage mode. So that's in the works right now currently. They just haven't given a date as to when they're going to patch that in. But that's coming, yeah.
Cool.
Final game I want to hear about from you guys is Division. What's the update?
Tidal Basin.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
World Tier 5.
Yeah, man.
Devin, you playing
What's your
the
gear
Division?
score now?
Get on
No.
it. Get on it. Start playing the Division 2. What's your problem?
You got a platinum in that?
I am going to platinum that. Yeah, but this is a good game. This is a hard game. This is like a real platinum. This is a real platinum.
Adult-ass game.
Yeah.
To give you the breaking news, the conversation about Super Weekend Mode's Easy Platinum reminded me that I had emailed Radalika Games or whatever, looking to get a bunch of codes for their UK and North American library, and then I just hit them up on DM, and they're like, all about it. So I'm going to have all these ones soon. Don't worry about it, everybody.
gosh, you're so
Division 2, though,
ridiculous.
I haven't touched it since we did Tidal Basin. Of course, Andrea, a real gamer, unlike the coward Fran Mirabella III,
That's what
who
I've been
did in
saying for
fact wake up
years.
on Friday before I flew to New York. Woke up
true.
with me at 7 in the morning, 6. Well, woke up independently.
I
but
was
at
up
the
at
same time.
5:30 that day,
Woke up
yeah.
that morning, and then at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. got on, and we ran Tidal Basin to open up World Tier 5.
Yep.
And it was glorious, Tim.
Yeah.
Let
Love
me
it.
tell you.
What's really exciting about running these strongholds are the hope that I have for the incoming raids. So the Division 2 third-person shooter, set in the Tom Clancy universe. It's about the aftermath of a widespread infection outbreak
Oh,
that kind of
cool.
crippled the United States government.
Yeah, bioterrorism.
And you play a Division agent from the Strategic Homeland Division, which is like a private underground operation that reports
line of
directly
defense.
to the president, and so you've been activated as a division agent to go in and try to restore the chaos that's happening in Washington
cool.
D.C. And so like one of your first missions is to like take back the White House, you storm the Capitol building, you rescue
Fight the Lincoln Memorial, yeah.
the Declaration of Independence from the National Archives. There's a ton of really cool mission design
Who are you
in this
fighting?
game.
A bunch of different factions that are trying to take over, like right in the
So it's
end
like a
of
power grab,
exactly
right?
in the vacuum of the government being able to do as everything's fallen. Now there's all these warring factions to rule DC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But I really love Tidal Basin. What's my gear score? I still haven't played since that Friday morning because we went to
okay.
New York, we came back, I wanted to do Falcon Age, I'm playing something else now. It never stops the work of what you're going to play or what's going on. But
It's
I need
true.
to get in there before Raid get up.
Well, and they put out some new patch notes about an incoming patch on the subreddit, and Greg,
I know.
Hold the presses.
Okay, ready?
They're adding red hair color, everybody.
Oh man,
I wonder why.
Big Red being
Maybe
added to the
because-
game.
Thank you, Julian. You heard
Andrea.
my cries.
Yeah, I know. If we could give a shout out to Julian, of course.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's what? What's his? He's director of the entire game.
He's
like?
the creative director. Yeah,
He's in
at
charge of the
Massive.
entire thing, and I don't know about you. I nickel and dime this motherfucker in DMs all the time. And I'm like, I swear I'm not gonna use you as tech support because I understand you run the entire thing. But this, I had a bug after Tidal Basin where we finished Tidal Basin. Everyone's in World Tier 5. I ran over to my workbench to upgrade it and start making stuff, and I couldn't upgrade it. And I was like, can you guys? You're like, yeah, we got all upgrade. And I'm like running through, and I'm like, I was trying to go to the airport. I was like, motherfucker. And sure enough, it's a known bug that's just like, fuck, they're fixing it. But it's like, I'm hitting him up and like, what about this? And what about, I'm like the annoying kid in class of like, hey, but I'm not asking my teacher. I'm going to the superintendent of all schools.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, the only way I can make it worse is if I was hitting up Yves Gamont and being like, hey, my workbench doesn't work. How is that possible or whatever?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
but
I love
it's
that.
fun. I'm at like
Do you take credit
496
for it?
right now. Wait, what?
For the hair?
Red hair?
I mean, yeah.
100%.
So when we were I went to several preview press events for The Division 2, and at the last one that Greg and I went to together, we got a glimpse of the character customization, and there was no red hair color. And then I went to DC and checked again, and it still wasn't there. And so I pulled Julian aside and was like, "Yo, but why can I make my hair green in the game but not red? Because red's an actual color of people's hair." So,
Okay, people have green hair.
yeah, but like not naturally.
Oh, sure, okay. Sure.
Right? Like you can make your hair purple, blue, or green in the game, but you can't make your hair red in the game.
Winning
And I was
colors.
like, WTF,
I mean, maybe the
Julian.
dollar flu wiped out all redheads. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Maybe that's another part of their lore. I haven't read
Yeah.
the comics.
First ones to go.
They got the weak immune system.
And so he's like, we'll put it in the game. And I was like, thank you. And now they're putting it in the game. And they're also putting a bald hairstyle in. So if you prefer to have no hair on your agent, that is coming as well. But there's a full list of all the patch notes over, like I said, on the Division subreddit, if you guys want to check that out. And then the raid goes live. The
April
8-person
25th.
raid goes live on April 25th. Can't wait. It's going to be great.
Now that's gonna be another one though. You understand? Because of course, Greg Miller only has Greg Miller luck. Where oh great, they're dropping World Tier 5 the day I go to New York. Oh great, they're dropping the raid the weekend I go home to Chicago for my stupid birthday. So like we got your April 25th. We might have to just call in sick to work, Andrea, and we got to just sit there and do it. You know what I mean?
Adventure Day.
I know that's the other thing. There's so much happening.
So
But,
we
like,
should just cancel the
technically-
Gamecast recording. We should just play the raid, is what you're saying.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, because it's a Thursday, right? And that's when we're seeing it at 6 o'clock, right? Yeah, yeah. It'll all work
Avengers?
out. Oh yeah.
End game,
Are you
man.
in
Lives?
that? No. Okay. Sorry.
No.
No, I asked him, is he in the movie?
Oh, I thought
I'm
like,
Hawkeye.
Oh no, do
man,
people mistake you for Jeremy Renner?
Yes, they do.
Oh my gosh.
fantastic. So to close out the show, Devin.
Yeah.
We tweeted out on the Kind of Funny Vids account. We said we're recording Gamescast later today with Devon Sawa. Send in any video game related questions
Oh, no.
you have for him. Mandy writes in and says, "This is the content that I didn't know I needed."
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
It's happening. We got movies, beer, and I don't know if you know. Do you know Macaulay Culkin
Yeah,
personally?
of course. Yeah.
Great. Cool.
That whole feud was fake.
Okay, good.
That was all fake.
Good.
I mean,
because the question is, if you're going to torture him,
Yeah.
what horrible video game would you force him to play?
Oh God. I don't know. I don't know. Bubble Bobble from the
NES, yeah.
What's wrong with Bubble Bobble? It's a classic.
pretty.
It's a great song.
That's
Little
pretty annoying,
dinosaurs.
isn't it?
Yeah, like, imagine being having to play it over and over and over again.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's kind of just.
We
You know what? 'Cause I used to go to this arcade as a kid, and that game was always turned up so loud.
It is
No one would ever.
very loud and very repetitive.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is good. Chris White says, if you could play any video game character in a motion picture, what character would it be and why?
Now, God. I don't know, Mega Man, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah?
Something live version of
That'd be cool.
Live action Mega Man, yeah.
Into
Action
it.
Mega Man.
And the last question for you here is, if Idle Hands was a was a video game, what genre of game would it be?
It would be a platform game, and you would be the hand, and you would be running from us.
Sure, as you guys
I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Devin, thank you very much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
thank you
coming
not
by.
only for coming here, but going to cover
Going
a game
to
for Kind of
Montreal.
Funny.
No, that was bucket list check. That was so
Yeah,
much
you
fun.
did it.
I'm glad you thought of me, and
course.
I'm glad I went and did it. And that was a fun game, but it was just an amazing experience. And they treated me so nice, and you guys treated me so nice.
Good.
So
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
Stay tuned. You can find him on Kind of Funny's We Have Cool Friends debuting sometime in May.
After Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones in review, which is happening, which starts Monday with Andrew Ray.
Yes,
Very
and
excited about this.
Escape Plan comes out July 4th weekend, and Moose this fall. Both
Movies that you are in.
movie. The Escape Plan is Stallone and Batista, and that comes out.
You're in a movie with Batista?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Another bucket list.
Very
check,
cool.
but,
The other movie's in is Travolta.
50 cents in it, and then the one in the fall is
50 cents in it?
yeah, 50
What?
cents in it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's really cool. And then Travolta and I did a movie, a two-hander that comes out in the fall. Fred Durst directed it. And,
Wow.
and
He knows Fred Durst too.
What?
Did you guys talk about this all in your episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like in depth about it, but I mean, we talked
Fred
about
Durst
these
is
things.
a hell of a director. He
Yeah.
really is as an artist, and I just saw it, and it's got an amazing soundtrack, and Travolta plays this like Rain Man-y kind of obsessed fan who kidnaps me and ties me to a bed, and it's creepy and
So it's
great.
like Stan.
It's more like Misery, and, more like Misery, but different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Where can people follow you?
Devon
E.
at
Sawa
Devon E.
on
Sawa on
Twitter.
Twitter, and
Yes.
that's it. And
There's an Instagram,
and,
too.
D.Sawa on
Instagram. There you go.
So.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay hyped.